Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm here today to do a walkthrough of the Magic Lantern Sibilla by Caitlín Matthews and Anastasia Kashian. First of all, the box, as you can see, this is a red feather product. The box is a magnetic, sturdy, hard box, as you can see. That's the back. If you're wanting to have a nosy at what that says, you can pause and have a wee read. And the front, which is really nice. So main thing is it's a nice sturdy box. It's going to keep your cards safe. The book that we get with it is a fantastic, chunky, detailed, very detailed guidebook. So we get, if anyone knows this Kashian's Lenormand Oracle Handbook, or if you have the Arthurian Tarot, this puts me in mind of that. It doesn't just give you the meanings of each individual card, but that's only a chunk of the book. The rest is all exercises and essentially a year-long course for you to work through to get to know the Sibilla. Because if you're like me, then you've not worked with Sibilla before and this is your first kind of a dipping your toe into the water. So I would definitely recommend this if you haven't read with Sibilla before but you're interested, or if you've got some Sibilla decks but you want a really detailed, comprehensive course on it. Because this is the thing with Sibilla, is previously it's been mostly Italian resources because it's an Italian petit jeu. So the book, and then we have the cards themselves. Now I'm going to zoom in, but you can see the backs of the cards here. The cards are roughly playing card size. I did have a playing card here somewhere to compare, to show you, but oh, there it's there. So this is a kind of a standard playing card. So you can see about the same width, but a bit taller than a playing card. But they're a really nice size. It feels like you're handling playing cards, to be honest with you. And yeah, as I say, that's the backs. There are 52 cards in the Sibilla, so it kind of equates to the playing card deck. And you can see that we've got, each card is linked to a playing card. So if you don't have the Sibilla and you maybe want to try it out, then you would be able to do so with a deck of playing cards. I at the Tabby conference, which is where I got this deck, was able to attend Kashian and Anastasia's talk where they took us through their deck, and they provided us with, I'm going to call it a cheat sheet. It's kind of like a quick interpretations of the Sibilla. I would imagine you'll be able to get your hands on something like that online. And yeah, you would be able to use a playing card deck if you wanted to kind of have a go at it. So Sibilla is kind of a more like Lenormand and Kipper than I think it's like Tarot, in that it's very kind of a everyday stuff that it's talking about. We'll kind of go through some of the cards and I might kind of call out some of their meanings in that. But it's more like them, and that it's talking about your kind of everyday, it's like conversational. I think chatteroni or something like that is what the Sibilla has been called, which means little chatterboxes. Rather, it's not esoteric, and it's not so much giving advice, it's more just talking about whatever it is that's on the querent's mind. So I'll flip through and let you see the deck, let you see the images. The artwork is absolutely stunning. Let me move this down a wee bit closer. So yeah, have a look. So we've got conversation. One of the other things about the Sibilla is I hesitate to say you need to, because when it comes to any of this stuff. There is no need, and there is no telling people what to do, but traditionally it is read with reversals, and just in my very short experience of working with these cards, if you were to not read with reversals, then you would be cutting out a whole load of interpretations. So to me, it would be kind of like taking a tarot deck and only reading half of it, you know. So you kind of need to read with reversals when it comes to Sibilla. So you can see that the titles are in English. I think most previous Sibilla decks, or Vera Sibilla to give it its full name, but most previous decks have been in Italian. So you can see these have been translated. And so your suits, now when we read playing cards, we tend to read the red suits are the good suits and the black suits are the kind of a more difficult suits. Sibilla's a wee bit different. So the hearts and the clubs are our positive suits, and the diamonds and spades are the negative suits in Sibilla. The hearts and diamonds, the red suits being the passive, so passive positive and passive negative, and the clubs being your dominant positive, and spades being your dominant negative. So yeah, it's a bit different, you know. It's, if you've not read with it before, it does take some getting used to. This is the only Sibilla deck that I have. I don't have any other Sibilla decks at all. I don't feel like I need to get any more, but famous last words. The room. So the room is like your, you know, your safe space, your private space. It stands for privacy, and you know, like the privacy of your own home type thing. Falsehood. So unfortunately in Sibilla, the cat is a kind of a negative animal, and dogs are positive. I think the keyword for the dog card is loyalty. So it's a bit of a product of its time in a lot of things, but and then we're into the spades, which is where we'll see a lot of the, you know, the very negative cards coming out. Old Lady's not so negative, although I think this does have an interpretation of kind of someone who's a bit set in their ways type thing. Widower. So we've got sickness, death, which isn't always physical death. It is kind of a thing's coming to an end, you know, kind of like the Lenormand coffin card is the way I kind of got it in my head. I love the artwork. That really stood. That was one of the first cards that, when I shuffled and had to look through it, that was one of the first cards that stood out to me, was the Misfortune card. I think it's, the artwork's stunning. Despair. Prison. Oops, the Soldier. The Enemy. The Rival. And the Priest. So that is the entire deck. It is, you know, as you would expect, with the size of it, it's very kind of a shuffleable, both in terms of riffle shuffling and overhand. when it comes to riffle shuffling, I do find smaller decks a wee bit more difficult to shuffle just because I'm used to riffle shuffling tarot decks. So when I'm dealing with smaller decks of cards, I do find that my hands feel that they're really kind of cramped, I guess. But yeah, when we read with Sibilla, there's lots of different, well, there's a few different kind of ways you can read. I have not explored and gotten to know very many of them at all. I've just been doing kind of a 3-card spreads with it. Spreads, 3-card pulls. So when you do a 3-card pull, let me see. So the centre card is what they've called the hinge, and that kind of tells you the theme. So let's see, we've got Madmen there now. Madmen, when it's upright, it's kind of just like kind of a delinquents, you know. But when it's reversed, it talks about poor judgment, confusion causing mistakes, being in two minds and worsening. So some sort of confused situation, poor judgment. And then on either side we've got the pillars, which is constancy reversed and sickness reversed. So constancy reversed, let's see, unpredictable, unstable, weakness, inertia, no willpower, vehicular accident, oh dear, that's not good. And it extends time when it's opening a line. Okay, so it's drawing things out. And then what do we have? Sickness reversed. Enforced cessation, grave illness, depletion, seeking to be ill. Well, that doesn't look good at all. That looks like looks like some terrible misfortune is about to befall me, doesn't it? So hopefully that's not right, but you can all check in with me. Maybe as the week goes on and make sure I'm alright. But really it was just to kind of let you see them laid out together. Let me see. Death is the next one. Death, Fortune and Soldier. So you can see the artwork's beautiful. They kind of they look really good when they're all laid out together. There's that Misfortune card. The Levity card's really nice as well. So Levity tends to make things less serious. It kind of lightens things up, but something that if it comes up with something that should be kind of a serious, then it kind of takes the piss out of it a wee bit. Whereas when this card is reversed, it's kind of like the opposite. It's like, you know, this is really serious, you know, this is, what is the, seize the chance now, electric painstaking, foreign city, air and Wi-Fi. So it's a kind of a in the moment type card when it's reversed. So anyway, in terms of where to get this, I'm actually not sure at the moment, but I believe you'll be able to get it in all the usual places. I'm just not sure if it's out yet, but if I will check after this, and I will pop a link in the description of where you can purchase this deck if you so desire. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Take care, and I shall see you later. Bye.